Welcome to episode 19 of the Point Podcast. I'm once again joined by the Brockstar.
Hello.
And Ben.
It's me.
I'm a bit under the weather. The weather is under me, or I'm under it. So we're just going to have to get through this. But you know what? There's so much to freaking talk about that we just needed to come in. So I was like, let me get all the gunk out of me and let's go.
We don't get sick leave here.
We don't.
No,
Unfortunately,
We don't. And you know what? You know, it's what we don't get. No announcement for the Switch 2 because we got one, baby. Woo!
It's a great segue.
Yeah, it was a very good one. So if you didn't see, the Switch 2 got announced.
I mean, got confirmed. I think like everyone knew it was going to be coming out,
It
but
also got announced.
Yeah, it was also leaked for the last 6 months religiously.
yeah. So
and then they're just
Nintendo's
like,
actually confirmed it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still got announced.
D-Brand announced it first.
True.
Yeah, it's always like that. Actually, got to go get some stuff from D-Brand.
I really hope they don't stick with the Switch 2 as the actual.
Oh, they will.
Oh, please no.
What else could they call it? Switch again?
Switched. Switcher.
Switched is good.
I
Like
don't
Switched.
know. They could call it the Nintendo Wabberjack for all I care, just as long as it's not Switch 2.
Why have I seen Wabberjack around a lot recently? What does that mean?
It's from Jabberwocky from the book by.
And Skyrim, there's one in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a nonsense word.
Okay, yeah, okay. I keep saying, the last week I've seen it around multiple different places, like 4 or 5 times.
Isn't it also in Alice in Wonderland, in the new movies they made?
Yeah, it's yes. Because C.S. Lewis wrote Jabberwocky. That's right. Yeah, it's just a nonsense word from that, and it's
Oh, just
a
means
lot of
bullshit. Yeah.
more or less, yeah.
But, so yeah, the big thing is Switch 2 got announced. Not much has really been shown of it. They did like just an intro video. So it's bigger.
Yes, physically bigger.
The screen's bigger. They've changed how the Joy-Cons go on.
Yeah, I've
think
got
it's
stuff to
magnets.
talk on that.
So at least,
Odd.
well, I guess we'll just break stuff down straight away instead of going through it. Yeah.
Let's go with the screen first because there's stuff to say about the screen.
So the screen's bigger now. I think people are saying it looks like it might be 8-inch.
Yeah, it looks like that. It's the same type of screen as on the original Switch. It's still just an LED screen.
How do we know that? Have they said anything?
Nintendo has not, but from people that have had their hands on with it already, it is just the same screen.
Yeah, so we don't know yet then. We really don't. Until Nintendo says it, we don't know.
Well, people have had the prototypes and they are
Yeah,
just
but
using the same screen.
It's a prototype. It
Yeah,
means
but
that
none
they
of
could
the
change it.
They might, but I don't think they'd jump all the way to go like an OLED or anything like that.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. They made a Switch OLED.
Yeah, I don't
They
think they'd go
did.
backwards.
They did make a Switch OLED, and I would reckon that they're going to make a Switch 2 OLED, but not this year, and not when the Switch 2 actually gets released. It's just going to be a standard OLED, standard LED screen.
We got him, boys.
We got him. So nothing has been concrete announced yet. So let's just say those are rumors because they are.
It's all speculation till
It
whatever
is,
the event
till
is.
it's actually announced, it's just speculation.
It is reasonable speculation, but yes, fair. I take what you're saying.
Yes. But yeah, so bigger screen. If it's the same screen, then that's terrible.
No,
That's honking.
It's definitely bigger.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the same type of screen. I hope the resolution's better because when I start looking at the Switch now, that resolution sucks.
Yeah,
It
720p.
really does. Yeah, so it is 720.
The
Makes
original
me,
Switch?
Yeah, it makes me feel like it's less than that.
I think it's dependent on the game. Some of them will run at 720, others might upscale from 480.
I just feel like I'll be playing Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom and it just looks a bit, how you going on it?
Yeah. I mean, those are like 2 of my favorite games, and I'll agree with you even on that. Like, yeah, they could have done better in terms of the actual resolution of it.
Yeah.
Should be minimum 1080. Like the size of the screen and how people are going to be playing it. Seems a bit backwards to go 720 for a handheld console in
I mean, you say that, but
2017.
the majority of the stuff running on the ROG Ally is 720.
No, it's 1080.
You can put it to 1080. Isn't
Yeah, but
it
it's a
native
mini
720?
computer.
No, native 1080.
Okay.
But yeah, the screen's 1080. Some of them are, I think the original one was like a weirder resolution, but yeah, no, it runs at 1080, which I'm happy with on that screen. It looks decent.
Yes.
Um,
Which works in the Switch's favor. It's a smaller screen. You don't need something that's going to be like a huge resolution, although
No.
1080 would have been nice.
yeah, so bigger screen. The rumors say it's going to be the same one. The next thing that they showed off were the Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
And the big thing on that was, and people have talked about it, how they connect to the console. They don't slide in anymore.
No, it's
They-
no longer a rail system. It's a magnetic. clip.
Magnetic, and they look like they clip in on the sides.
Yeah, that connection though is getting broken ridiculously
Yeah.
easily.
I don't know about that though. People keep going on about that, but
Unless it has a little hinge on it so that it can like bend slightly. People aren't going to every single time take it straight off to the sides. People are going to bend it slightly.
yeah,
one
but
way
the
or
thing I've seen at least, and everyone's like, oh, that's gonna break, is that, and a lot of the people online that who actually are Switch repair people were like, oh well, actually, it looks like that little pin is recessed from the side of it. So
it doesn't
you
stick
won't
out
you
as
won't
far
be
as
able
the
to
side.
actually get it in at an angle. You're gonna have to actually push it in sideways to properly get it on anyway, and it won't be pushing that bent pin as much.
Yeah, that's what they
It
used
probably
to say
will.
about the original Switch. Oh, you can't put them on upside down. You can definitely put them on upside down.
A little
I've
bit
had
different.
to fix
no.
ones that they were on upside
A little bit
down.
different. At least the people I saw online were like, this is not as big of a problem as you think it is.
Oh,
And-
no, I reckon that's going to be
For someone like for people like us, sure. For an 8-year-old,
No,
who's
not
an
even.
idiot,
It looks like it's the way is that it is recessed enough that you will not be able to push it in or really touch that thing. If you just went and touched it, like broke it off, put your fingers in there, sure. But putting it on, it doesn't look like it's as much as a point of failure that people think it
No,
is.
I think it's going to be the main point that gets broken all the time.
I still think it's going to be the screen. Still a screen console.
But the Joy-Cons also, from the video, look like you can maybe use them like
As a
mice. Again, that hasn't been confirmed, but it's just what the video.
It sort of infers that. If you can use that as a mouse, I don't know how I feel about that.
so weird. Like, it's not the best size for a mouse.
No, but
No.
also the thing is, you're playing this sitting down on your lounge.
Yeah, I reckon it's
And
going
it'll
to
be touchscreen.
It's going to be something like the movement controls or the IR sensor on the bottom of the Joy-Con at the moment. It's going to be used in maybe 3 games, and
That's what I was
it.
thinking. It was going to be like, it was going to be a Nintendo first party thing, and a couple people might try it, and then it'll never be touched again.
Yeah.
6-axis again.
Also going to be like, remember how you used to be able to do the thing with the Wiimote controllers where they could store certain save data from games, and you take your Wiimote to your friend's place and like load your
I don't
Smash
remember
Brothers
that.
data
No,
on
neither
there.
do I.
Yeah, because no one ever used it. It was only used in about 6 games.
Interesting.
You could load like your Mii data onto them as well for stuff like Mii Sports.
Oh,
Or Wii Sports, sorry.
Me Sports.
Me Sports, way upside down.
I didn't know that was like, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But then the dot would be on the bottom.
Not if it's all capitalized.
Yeah, but the Wii wasn't.
Is it going to blow your mind if we point out that Mario and Wario are just in
I already knew that. Same with Luigi and Waluigi. Similar, it's just the wa. It's the so shut the fuck up, bro. But yeah,
His
that
mind
was
is blown.
that was about it. That was really announced with that. Wasn't
Yeah,
anything
there
else they
was-
really
I
highlighted?
mean,
The new colors.
Oh, I
they
don't
changed
care
to
about
red
that.
and blue.
I don't.
yeah,
I
it's
don't
around the actual joystick now. It's and the
Just keep it the same.
yeah.
There's
Honestly,
no point changing the shade
honestly,
of them.
Possible new Mario Kart game shown off on it as
Yeah.
a launch
With-
title.
With 24 spots on the starting grid. So
Oh,
massively.
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
There was a lot more like starting points from just the original 8.
you
or
know
10.
what? I feel like Mario Kart is one of the most overrated games.
Yeah, we've talked on that one before.
So-
It's
It's just like it's fun, but bro,
Nothing
what do you
different.
do? It's boring after a while.
it is if that's all you're playing, but it is a good party game and it will sell copies as a launch.
Oh,
title.
100%. I don't doubt that. I just think CTR is better. If you're going to go sit down, like just
Yeah,
you to
but
go play.
Nintendo doesn't own CTR.
I know, I'm just saying. I'm freaking saying, bro. Okay?
So I'd prefer to play Mario Kart.
Yeah, I would also prefer Mario Kart.
Why?
Just never got into Crash Team Racing. Played it multiple times on different consoles and everything. Don't like it. I'd rather, if I had a preference, I'd pick Mario Kart.
These guys are wrong. they're actually just wrong.
2 versus 1.
Also
No.
unconfirmed.
Yes, also unconfirmed.
But yeah, it's going to be. That's going to have a direct in April.
Yeah. Another thing that has been confirmed, it has 2 USB-C ports on it now. One on the top, one on the bottom.
Is that actually confirmed?
Yes, it shows it in the video.
Oh, okay.
That's much more convenient.
So it'd just be. I would say it'd be docking on the USB-C and
On the
then,
bottom one,
yeah,
possibly
and then on the
charging on the top.
which is good.
Yeah,
If they're both power delivery, that's good.
Yeah, because I was laying in bed and wanted to play it, and it was low battery. You got to plug it in the bottom, and you can't get it comfortable. It
Yeah,
could
no,
be the top of
that's
the
the
screen.
problem. That's why the ROG's so good for that. It's just all through the top, and it's not intrusive at all.
It'd be cool if a couple of games took advantage of like the high bandwidth USB-C could provide by like, oh, you can do direct link like with the old Game Boy cable. You used to be able to trade stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what's gonna really?
Yeah, Wi-Fi is usually good enough for any
For the stuff
multiplayer
like that, I don't know what like. Unless it was like an external GPU sort of situation.
That
it
would.
never-
Yeah, I think that's just wishful thinking.
Oh, yeah,
Honestly.
no,
that would be amazing.
Hey,
but
that's still new tech in PC. Like what we did the other week where we made the external GPU for the ROG Ally. That's still
Yeah.
a bit like not even. I say taboo. It's not like you shouldn't do that, but it's
Early
like
days.
people like
I
everyone.
mean, you say early days. eGPUs have been around for what, 10 years now?
Yeah,
They're
they've
not-
been around for ages, but they're not common knowledge, and
They're
people
niche.
don't. Yeah,
They
they're
are
niche,
very niche.
very niche. But like everyone we talked to about that were like, "Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Oh, that's cool." But so I mean, like, I can't see a console be doing anything like that anytime soon.
Yeah.
But that was about it with the Switch too. It's been like, it doesn't seem like, it seems like Switch 1.5 to me.
Yeah, it's the Wii U all over again. It's gonna not trick people. It's gonna make people look at it and just go, "Oh, okay, it's just an upgrade to the original Switch."
Yeah.
Which, in most ways, it is an upgrade of the original Switch, but it is its own console.
I think too little, too late. Like, I think the Switch was a killer idea, and I think whatever the new console should have been like the Switch, but it's just like bigger, different little Joy-Cons.
With the other handheld
Still
consoles
use-
at the moment.
yeah.
But that's basically what Nintendo does.
Still use
Is
cartridge.
like, okay, well here's the NES. Yeah, it did really well. Oh, here's the SNES. It's the same thing.
yeah, but it was.
oh, here's the 64. We've got 3D graphics.
The problem is, back then they were actually innovating.
They were.
So it's
Can
like,
I
okay,
finish my point though?
yeah.
Then they get to they go through the GameCube, they go through all that, they go through the Wii, and it's like, cool, we've got motion controls and all this. Oh, here's the Wii U, we've got gyroscope and that. And it was just the same again, just slightly different. And then they went, okay, cool, here's the Switch. And then with all their handhelds, they did the same. They went, cool, here's the Game Boy Color. Yep, it's the same thing, just in color. And I know they were still innovating, yes. Here's the Game Boy Advance SP, here's the DS, here's the 3DS, here's the 3DS XL. It's the same thing as the previous generation, just one little thing's been tweaked or one little thing's slightly different. But the form factor is basically the same.
With those ones, with like all the handhelds, barely any of those were like, this is the new thing. The new thing was from the Game Boy to the Advance, which was a big jump in computing power, massive jump. The SP is like, this is like the slim version or the special edition sort of thing. It wasn't pushed as this is the new version of it. And then
When they went from like the DS to the 3DS.
Yeah, but I didn't feel like that was, you could play.
Didn't they have a DSi or something as
Yeah,
well? They had a
DSi
game-
as well.
DSi
That was
just the
stupid.
DS.
So the 3DS was that was the next gen because there was games on that you couldn't play on the other one, and it was a generational jump in performance because it wasn't using the same chip that was on the
No,
2004.
I know it's not. I'm not talking about performance of them. I'm talking about the shape and style of them.
Oh no, I understand that. What
way
I'm
that
saying
you-
is
the way you actually use them to play.
what I'm
the
saying
games
is
on
now
them.
Nintendo doesn't have a leg to stand on with that because I mean like this doesn't feel much different from the original Switch, and the original Switch came
No.
out like 7 years ago now. Actually, no.
2017.
Yeah, 8 years ago.
Yeah. If they were going to do something and bring a new console out, especially with now with like the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally and all that sort of stuff,
Mm.
it's got to have a good screen. It's got to be at least maybe 4K or at least 2K.
Mm.
I don't
And-
think they're going to angle it that way.
Oh,
I think
they
they're more
won't,
just.
but
No.
they've left it too late now to be like,
yeah.
here's a better version of what we should have released 4 years ago.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
they're angling to. They still want to corner their sort of family-friendly market and have something that yes can be used at home or it can be used on the go, and they don't want to give up the sort of the image they've built around Nintendo being fun for everyone.
Yeah, but they can do that and then still innovate not 8 years later.
Look, if they wanted to do something bigger and better, they would have to go back to, cool, we have the home
Remastering
console.
good Pokemon games and
They
then
could also do that. We have the home console and then we have our handheld console. That's what they would need to do to actually get better performance out of all of it.
No, I think like we've said it before, Nintendo are just counting on nostalgia, keeping their customers happy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's all they're doing.
I think Nintendo is
it's worked
definitely
for 'em
it's
so far.
definitely waning with people of the younger generation. Like kids still love the Switch and things like that because the parents sort of think like, oh, this is the
Yes.
it's like this is going to be the
less brain rot version of video
exactly.
games.
But the thing is, when there's people of our generation who start having kids and people who could have had kids already, like you,
I'm
you're
giving them a
older.
PlayStation.
Yeah, you're giving them a
Okay.
PlayStation
Look,
or an Xbox.
I
or
will say
something.
for me,
But you, that's a
I-
bit different because you're a man child.
thanks.
Best of
Yeah.
both worlds.
Between like when I still had a PS4 before it blew up, I had both it and the Switch.
Mm.
I still sunk way more time into the Switch.
Yeah, but I said you're a man child. You are definitely more of a Nintendo fan than a PlayStation fan. I've always got that impression from you. I think you could probably say the same. Yeah.
I mean, spent more time on the computer than both of them.
You're
Yeah,
a
but
retro.
when
But
I
I,
feel
know
like-
I know what you
yeah,
mean. Yes,
yeah.
I'm not going to disagree with that point. Yes.
I feel like you are like more of a Nintendo adult than anything. I mean, your favorite series is Zelda.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, like,
What do you reckon's worse, Nintendo adult or Disney adult?
oh,
Or
Disney
Disney.
adult,
Yeah.
100%.
By far.
Some of the videos online of Disney adults
Disney
is
adults
just
suck.
yeah. I don't know how they function in society.
Hey now, this is what dreams
That's an
are
old
made
one now.
of. Oh no, it's like they'll be them in Disneyland crying. I can't believe I saw the
Oh.
castle for the first time.
Yeah.
It'll be
Mickey
playing,
Mouse.
and it'll be playing that in the background.
Saw something earlier today about the opening to Hunchback of Notre Dame was the best Disney opening ever, and they've yet to top it.
I don't remember that movie at all. I've watched it maybe once or
It-
twice.
I
when
never
was a
saw
kid.
it as a kid. I only saw
I
it when
saw
I
it
was
on
like,
VHS. I don't remember seeing it ever on
I
anything
saw it-
else.
Yeah, I saw it years after I like maybe when I was 20, 21 maybe.
Brooke. Closer. Same with you. Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's probably the best Disney opening. I reckon Treasure Planet goes pretty hard.
Or okay, yeah.
Wait, Disney movies just like are boring to me. They
Uh,
always have been. Like I like Lion
they
King,
mainly
but
d-
it's like once every like 5-6 years
it's
maybe.
longer than that for me. I can't do it. I can't do it in 5 years.
Like
it's
you know
good,
what?
but
Like
yeah.
I last time I saw it was on Go, like
Yeah.
probably about
They're-
12 years ago, and I was
they're
like, this was cool. I haven't
definitely-
seen this in ages.
They are definitely a company that refuses to innovate because they're just scared to do
Oh,
anything
Oh
different.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean they definitely innovate, but as far as their
Like I mean, in terms
They're-
of like storytelling, technology, sure they'll innovate and like do different types of animation. They'll do whatever they want to do with all the camera work and all that. But like in terms of the stories they tell,
oh no, it's been
it's
the same.
always like, oh, we're doing a sequel. We're gonna bring out Lion King 4, and like
It's the same
it's
thing they've been
nothing
doing
new.
since the 30s. It's the exact same story structure, and it has worked for nearly 100 years. So they don't need to change it.
yeah.
well, that was a Switch and Nintendo. They're pretty, yeah. Oh, okay. Very early days. Do you think you'll get one? I know you will.
I was talking to another person we work with the other day. Maybe.
That person.
Oh, it was you, yeah. Sorry, for some reason I thought it was another person. Anyway,
No, I was saying, was it this person?
no,
Okay,
no.
idiot.
Yeah,
Keep going.
idiot.
I
I won't be getting one. If Brock's taking too long to get to his point,
don't know if I'd grab one day one. I
What,
want
you
to
say
see
you
what the
would or
launch
won't be?
titles are going
I
to be.
probably won't. I mean, that's what I was looking at as well. They said with the games that some will be available on the two and be like you can go between the two, but
I don't think I would have got an original Switch if there wasn't Breath of the Wild.
I didn't get an original Switch until like I want to say at least I would have been 2021 maybe, just because I had my 3DS still, so all the games I wanted were on that,
Okay, yeah.
and then it went for a swim, so I bought a secondhand Switch.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they need a killer app. I don't think Mario Kart's enough to sell them.
They'll probably be, if they follow the same thing they've done for pretty much every other console launch they've done, there'll be a Mario title, whether that's going to be Mario Kart or if it's going to be like an actual standalone Mario title, and there'll be a Zelda title, and then they've already got the hint of Pokemon ZA or whatever it's called.
That just makes me sad hearing that.
Yeah.
Just, it's not hard. I'll take another mystery dungeon at this point.
I mean, at least this one's set in the same region as Black and White.
Yeah.
So I don't care enough anymore. I just want to play the old games.
But no, I don't know if I'll be getting one unless they drop some really good thing like, oh, look, here's Odyssey 2 and it's way longer and blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, I could only count on one hand how many games I've beaten. It was Breath of the Wild, Odyssey. I didn't even beat Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh.
I could easily go back. That's a game where I want to go back, but it's, I've got to set up the Switch. I got to do it, blah, 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 blah. I think that was it. I think that there might have been a few other things. There's never wasn't much on there to go to that I wouldn't go on another console.
There was enough games, but there was nothing really that appealed to me to play it. Like on PlayStation, I can always find something that I want to play. On Nintendo, it's like, cool, I got Mario Kart, Minecraft, and Pokemon Pearl, and I was like, I'm happy. Like I'm happy with these three games.
Minecraft, I wouldn't even play on that thing.
It was fun because it was all like Bedrock. You could play with people on PlayStation at the same time.
Oh, that's cool. At
the
least.
Realm stuff. So that's why I had it when I went traveling. I could still play with everyone.
Okay, that's worth it then. But
No,
yeah, like
I've got a bunch of titles on there, but a number of them are ones that I could play on literally anything else. So I get what you mean. It doesn't have much that's unique to it other than Mario, Zelda, and Pokemon.
And if I want to have something on the go, I'll be getting the ROG Ally and playing games that I could play at home. But if I want to play it on the go, get that.
The Ally is definitely a much more powerful machine.
But just in every way, it's more comfortable. Though, better battery life, bigger screen.
No.
Yeah.
Battery life, no.
Yeah. What's your Switch getting?
6-7 hours.
Mine's pushing 3.5, maybe.
Yeah. Same. I'd maybe get 3 hours.
Again, mine's pre-owned, but I mean, I don't want to be playing the Switch for 3 hours. I'm playing it drunk on Christmas Eve, and that's it.
I'm usually taking off the dock and maybe getting a few hours out of it.
No, I'm getting far.
Depending
on the games that like.
Well, what Switch do you have?
The original one.
Well, so do I.
2017.
So do I. I've got not a launch one. I got one a couple months after.
I got the Smash Bros. Black one. Kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Don't have Smash Bros, but it's another game I never really got into.
Yeah, I think
it's cool. I like playing it. I'm not going to own it though.
Approximately 4.5 to 9 hours. I don't think that's real. Oh, that's through Nintendo. This person on Reddit saying their light gets 2 hours.
Yeah, but how old is it? And what game are they playing? Like if I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom, 3 to 4 hours, sure. If I'm playing something like Death Road to Canada, then 9 hours. Like I could.
Yeah, well, no, that's what I'm looking at. I'm talking about like bigger games.
Okay.
I'm getting more battery life out of the ROG than I am on the Switch. If I want to play like games that take nothing, I can get 12 hours out of the ROG if I wanted to.
Okay.
Like we talked that with emulation. Emulation's a good one because it's like, oh yeah, if it's anything older, you're getting 10 plus hours.
See that. If Nintendo actually released a full-on, like if they brought Virtual Console back and had like,
amazing.
Cool, here's our entire library. We've worked, and if they actually announce this, they never will. This is all just like wishful thinking.
Pipe dream.
Yeah, if they were like, we've worked with, the creators of Ryunix or whatever the Switch emulator people are.
Oh, yeah.
We've worked with like the stuff for SNES 9 and all like those sort of teams. Like if they had it so that here's all the SNES titles, here's all the Game Boy Advance titles, here's all this, and it's like, yeah, you got to pay our subscription service, but I would jump on the Switch 2 day one and pay for the subscription if they had that sort of library. If I could go back and be like, I can play all the 64 games. I can play all the Nintendo 60, all the GameCube games.
Pokemon and just go all the way through and then stop when you get to
See, that was so good for the 3DS when they were like, here's red, blue, and yellow, and you can actually take the Pokemon from that through Pokemon Bank and put them into another one.
Yeah, like that was very cool. I remember trying to find. That's when I like started the hunt for like my emerald. So I was like, I want to go back, get all my Pokemon, and then keep trading them up. So I still had all the working platforms that you could do that on, and then it just never came to.
Yeah.
That because I have no idea where that goddamn cartridge is.
Pokemon Bank, and then they like brought out Pokemon Home. I like being able to go back and get Pokemon from much earlier games and bring them forward. I know that they do things where like Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire had the hoops or whatever they were. And Sun and Moon had it as well, where you can go through and catch Pokemon from much earlier generations.
That's what was always good about the Safari zones and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Once you beat the earlier games, you go back and go, oh, cool, I want to complete like the National Pokedex, whatever it was, and you could just go through and catch everything that was there. That was... What did I have? The standard DS had the Game Boy cartridge in the bottom, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, because you could plug your old Game Boy cartridge into that. And then
was it in the bottom or was it at the back?
it's on the... Oh, no, that's a 3DS there. Because your normal cartridge, you go on the top, and I think you had that little plastic cover part you could pull.
Yeah, because I've got the...
I always mixed it with my sisters because we had two different coloured... Oh.
Because, no, the DSi has it at the top.
And then the Game Boy part went at the bottom.
At the bottom, okay.
Because, it had that
I never
bit.
had the original DS.
Yeah, I did. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could plug your Game Boy cartridge into the bottom of that, and then it would transfer to... great idea.
Yes.
But, yeah, Nintendo don't love their fans very much.
No.
Well, Mr. Thomas is back from fixing the technical difficulties. Another day.
Another day, another victory for the old G. This is why we need to get cameras that don't overheat. That's why we might be having a break between episodes to buy another camera.
We've got lots of money.
No, we don't. According to our neighbours.
Yeah, it's not according to our neighbours. We are broke.
So the neighbours at our house, today we just got a TV installed. We had a faulty TV. They came in and swapped it over for another one. They accidentally went next door, and the neighbours were like, "Oh, do they even have money for a TV?" Brother, what? How rude can you be? Sorry, Boomer.
No. Good luck parking your caravan in front of our house now.
Yeah, we'll allow you to do that from now on, definitely. But that should be all fixed. Their cameras might go off again. Just that's what happens when you don't have cameras with fans in them.
I mean, we also don't have the fan in here today.
No. It is a hot area, but I mean, the thing
manageable.
Yeah. Oh well. The other thing, this is definitely more you led thing, Brock, because Ben and I don't know much about it or care too much about it. From what we know about Elon Musk botting in Dota.
Yeah, so possibly in Dota. I know definitely in
League.
Path of Exile.
Yeah, I've seen the Path of Exile stuff.
Yeah, so like the news about Elon, like he's said for a while that he wants to start a gaming company and like make games great again or some bullshit.
Convenient.
Yeah. But no, he's previously said that he's like on certain games, he's like within the top 20 in the world, and no one's really questioned it, I guess. But he went on a stream in the last couple of weeks and was trying to play Path of Exile 2 and made a whole bunch of mistakes and looked over things where any player who supposedly is in the top 20 would not have made any of those mistakes. Like, didn't understand how certain items worked, even though they're common items. Didn't understand how the map worked. He missed picking up large amounts of loot or important stuff. Like, it's all things that, like, someone who's played the game, or at least played the game the amount that he would have had to get to this area, wouldn't have made those mistakes. So he's been accused of paying other people to play it for him. And as of a while ago, seemingly had confirmed. Sorry, I'm just turning this off.
Yeah, Boomer still has his notification sound on all the time.
I forgot to turn it off. Sorry.
Silent or nothing.
I won't lie. I'm not an Elon Musk apologist, but who cares?
I mean, I care considering how much influence he seems to have in a lot of world politics at the moment.
But what's that got to do with his Path of Exile account being boosted?
Because he's a liar.
Yeah, or, you know what? I think
Ben, and my KD is 2.1 as well. So
yeah, Ben and I probably did the exact same thing, going into Modern Warfare 2 lobbies and doing tactical insertions and
No,
multiple
but
killing.
if
Oh yeah,
You're
I
not-
camped all the time.
Yeah, and just
just
how-
farming
doing
kills.
XP
you
lobbies.
aren't appearing on the news saying that people should trust you, and then when asked for like credentials, being like, "Oh, I can do all this stuff, and I can do this stuff. Oh, I'm popular with the gamers because I can do all this stuff," and then most of that turns out to be outright fabrications.
But if he's also botting and spending his time doing SpaceX stuff, I don't care if he lies about botting.
Yeah,
because
like
the SpaceX stuff is really, really cool.
When he's talked about that stuff, I'm like, man, like I feel like there was always some sort of fabrication to it, because like he's a busy man. He doesn't have the
He is
time to
busy.
put in to do.
And the games he
X, Y, Z.
plays
he's
as well, I don't care about in the slightest. Like he plays League, he plays Dota.
Also, I think that's a little bit mutually exclusive. I don't think because he's botted in or whatever in Path of Exile that he's going to, like, I
he's
don't know.
lied about everything he said in the
Yeah, I
political
don't-
one.
He's
don't
been
believe.
proven false on a lot of stuff, not just the botting stuff, but like stuff that he used to claim about Tesla. He doesn't say anymore because it was proven false.
Like what?
I don't know, remember straight off the top of my mind. I just know that stuff was proven false that he used to claim about Tesla, like about
I also
there was
used to
something
think the
about
moon
the
was made of
self-driving
cheese.
mode and the durability or something of them.
Oh
as
yeah, the
well.
durability of them sucked when they first came out. All the
Oh,
videos of
they
them.
were horrendous the first.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Seals would line up, the
years,
door
yeah.
panels were off, like seatbelts would fall apart. It's ridiculous, but
I don't think, like, I feel like this is a lot of the time. This is just people being angry to be angry. I don't think what he did was right.
Some of that, I'll agree with you. It is people just looking for any reason to tear someone down. It just so happens that that person is someone who provably has lied outright.
that is everybody
I
in
don't-
politics in America.
I don't feel like this is like. I feel like people are looking too deep into this. It's a level on a game. It's a number on a screen. Like, who fucking cares? Like, if it's like, oh yeah, I bought it on Path of X. I know people who used to pay to get them COD levels higher and get bottled accounts and things like that. It's just like a status symbol thing, and he probably just wants to be seen as the best. Like, I mean,
There's no way
it's
he's
not
top
an
20 or
excuse, yeah.
50 in the world with the amount of shit he does.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I saw people talking about that.
This is
like,
blowing smoke
oh,
up his
I
own
don't-
ass,
yeah.
paying someone to bot for him. It doesn't make yeah, I'm not fussed either way.
Yeah, like it's like it doesn't really involve me much.
Yeah,
I feel like it's definitely like we're gonna attack this person for XYZ thing. Again, I'm not an Elon fan at all. But I feel like this is like slow news day, huh? Kind of thing.
Gamer cheats.
Yeah, gamer cheats. What's new?
Yeah.
That's all of China.
Yes, all of China.
Like cheating in games in China is rampant. It's massive.
Yeah.
It's like it's the social norm, at least from everything I've ever seen.
They got to cheat because they only get to play for. Is it China? They're only allowed to play games for a certain amount of time each day.
I think it's.
Oh, I don't know how true that actually
I
is.
don't
Like,
think so.
Yeah.
They botted that number to get that.
Gotcha.
I think that.
Slow news day.
Yeah, but in unslow news day, which is actually pretty similar to this, is all the stuff going on with pirate software at the moment.
yeah.
Not my boy Thor. Got him.
Thor, yeah.
They got him.
If you don't know who Pirate Software is, he's a content creator. He's not dead. He's a content creator who rose to fame in the last 18 months to 2 years, mostly from YouTube Shorts.
Mm-hmm.
He had some like viral shorts talking about what were some of his big ones.
I found out of him through his like doing the game development stuff when he was doing his
Yes.
game. I can't think of what it's called now.
Heartbound.
We had some technical difficulties. We had some sound like a bomb had been planted at B or something.
No, it was a weird noise. Aztec whistle.
Yeah, death whistle. Yeah, but we're talking about Pirate Software. So he came to fame from in the
YouTube
last,
Shorts. Yeah.
YouTube Shorts in the last year, 2 years, something like that. And what was his big shorts? One of them was
The
talking
ones-
about getting your shorts seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember that?
About his dad being the guy from South Park.
Yeah, from South Park, like the WoW
Yeah.
episode, World of Warcraft episode.
He talked a lot about when he used to be in charge of offensive security at
Blizzard. And then
Game design for his Heartbound.
yeah,
And he had. That's what got me into watching him.
and then also talk about like changing prices of stuff, and because he's also a developer. Yeah.
Yes.
So what happened recently? There's been a World of Warcraft guild with a ton of streamers called, what's it called? Something Fang?
I can
I'm
find
not
it.
sure.
I'll find
Yeah,
out.
look it up. But there's been a massive guild with streamers on World of Warcraft because it's had a resurgence, I guess, where it's a hardcore server that they all play on.
Only Fangs.
Only Fangs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good name.
Only Fangs, and it's a lot of famous streamers and content creators and things like that, and I think some other people as well. And what happened was that they were doing a raid, and he was the healer. Was that it?
He was the.
He was a support. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
he's the
I've never played WoW. I've got no full context with it, but it looked like he was a support healer, something like that, and
trying to
just
find out
got-
exactly what he.
it's almost like he got overwhelmed during a raid and left, and then he just kept making bad play after bad play, like decision-wise, and he like abandoned the whole squad, and he got a ton of them killed.
So if you actually watch the stream on what had happened,
Yeah.
they were in the middle of a raid.
Mhm.
They'd pulled too many enemies, and like someone had run out wide. One of the tanks had run out wide or
Yeah.
something, and so they were getting like enemies coming from too many different directions. The decision was made to run, and someone over their TeamSpeak or
yeah,
whatever
the
was
shot caller said he's like,
Everyone-
run, get out, and
everyone
then
run, and so the group started to, but then people like kept stopping and trying to fight. Like they kept turning and like trying to. I don't know what they were trying to do, because like the second you start fighting again, everything just ganks you. So it was, but he basically followed the original order, which was everyone get out. He cast a couple of spells that he might have cast differently and had a different effect, or like not. He basically ran out of mana.
Well, that's the thing, is that all of the clips I saw, he's like, look at my mana, what can I do? And it was full. And that's one of the things that people are clowning on him for. So the reason why this is such a big thing is that they're on a hardcore server. People's characters got killed. When they get killed in that server, they're completely gone.
Yeah.
And they're all like, what is it, level 60 or 80 or what's
I think,
the...
yeah,
Level
they're all
60.
above 50, which is like hundreds of hours to get to that point.
Yeah, just grinding, it's like 200 plus hours to get to level 60.
Yeah, and like I think he was the main mage for the entire guild, so he had
He
all
was
their.
the main enchanter.
There you go. He had everything to enchant with. He had everyone's gear, all that. So if he died, the whole rest of the guild's gone. So he
Yeah.
had run and he bailed.
What happened afterwards is the funny thing, because he's copping flack for this, despite the fact he had nothing to do with the next part. Because he had all of their enchanting materials and everything in his private storage rather than in the guild storage, the decision was made after everything went down, was made to kick him from the guild and ban him, basically.
Yeah.
They didn't ask him for anything back. He had left the stream for the night. He'd gone like off wherever, whether to go to bed or do. He wasn't online, is the point.
Mm.
They kicked him, and then found out the next day, oh, we don't have all of our stuff, and then he started copping flack for that, despite the fact that that second part he had no part of.
Yeah, he kept doubling down, which
I think the reason people are not happy with it is that at least I've seen a lot of people react to the replay of what happened and are like, I would have done this different or than this way or whatever. And then there was points where, no, let me finish, calm down. So people were reacting who were big WoW players like, oh, I would have done this different, but that's fine, did this, blah, blah, blah. But it got to the point where he started lying. He was like, what do you expect me to do? I literally don't have any mana. And it's like, his character's got full mana. And there was a couple times I was like, man, help us quick, just do this thing. And it's like, no. And I was like, I think it was a bit more about him being arrogant that people don't like.
I've heard that claimed about him a few times. What I will say is that the stuff he was being asked to do in that moment wasn't going to help. The spells he was being asked to cast were like, cool, I can cast this spell. It's going to give you a few moments to get away. And they weren't trying to run away. They were trying to like gain the advantage back. And it's like, no, the shot caller said to run. Why is not everyone running? why are half the team stopping to try and fight again? Like we are.
At least from what I've seen,
And
it's because there was a
sorry, I will say one thing as well. Like you saying that he was lying about it. Everything I'd seen was that he refused to comment on it.
No, like he wasn't commenting on stuff later, but actively in the moment saying I don't have any. Well, look at my matter. What can I do? And it was full, or he had an ability to make it full or something.
Yeah, he had low
Something like
mana,
that.
but he had either a potion or something that would have regened it faster. Yes.
Yeah. So and that's the thing that everyone was like. They were like, oh yeah, no, this isn't too bad. And like, why did he say that? No, he's fine here, or something like that. And it was just, it seemed like a little bit strange.
People commenting on it later and saying, oh, I would have done this, I would have done that. Like, I look at that the same way that like I would look at when I was a kid. People like my father and mother and everyone, like when we'd go around, everyone would watch the football and you'd hear all the dads being like, oh, he's a moron, he should be doing this, he should be doing X, Y, Z. I look at that in the same way.
Oh no,
like,
100%.
But you're not there in the moment. How the hell do you know what you would do? I went under the pressure.
That's the big problem here. That was the original thing that sort of blew over in a day. The fallout of all this is that there's just been more and more and more and more drama with him, where it will be like, hey man, like we didn't expect you to do XYZ thing. We just want you to admit that you're
at fault
or something like that. And he was just being, no, I'm completely fine. And that was
okay.
like, I think the big thing is a lot of people, and Ben's saying the same thing, is that him just being very arrogant, and people were like,
Yeah.
Again,
we're not
he
about
can
that.
definitely be arrogant.
Well, even here it says like the top comment on like they've clipped his Twitch channel as well. It says after doubling down, he calls the guild hate content guild, and they're only here to like fuel the fire and stuff like that. They're not here to like kind of get. Oh, I've lost my train of thought now. They're just doubling down and they just want to hate on him now that he's been kicked. Like he did a clip on Twitch and it's been removed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that he's doubled down on. It's now a content guild just for hate.
So it seems like it's just like his popularity is just done on 180. So it seems like, at least I think a lot of people, the reason I don't have any real problem with him at all, but I'm just
Also
saying
World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
like,
I don't care
Yeah.
about WoW. Literally 21 years old.
The one I saw was him saying like, yes, what his character did, like he should have thought on it better, but he's not the one that called the shots, and he's not the one that
That's the thing. That's
killed.
not. People don't care about that anymore. It's about how he's been acting, and people are not being liking him as a person, being rude and obnoxious.
Yeah, because you can
and
be like
not admitting and doubling down and.
Well, if this is the big thing that gets him, like, loses him all the popularity, I just look at all the other content creators who have done like far worse things and lost popularity for that, and rightfully so, for like a good portion of it. If this is what sort of kills his streaming career, I think that's kind of really, really sad that people care that much about what a streamer did on a game.
No, but you're missing the point. That's not why people are angry at him anymore.
they're angry because everything he's done since that point. I didn't even know he was in a World of Warcraft guild until that video came out.
Yeah, neither.
All his other content I've enjoyed. I didn't know he was in a World of Warcraft.
Yeah, World of War. He's doing the Dies and Dragons.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, I didn't know he was in a guild until I saw that clip. But how he's handled everything since him getting called out, I was like, why would you do that?
It seems like
just everything that's like going on. He's now more arrogant. They can't trust him.
Doubling down, people who have said anything that I was wrong, and you're a bad person type of thing.
Yeah.
This is paraphrasing like crazy. Like I don't have enough time to look into all this drama and gossip and whatever.
I did the first day, and now it's been going on for a week, and it just keeps evolving.
The reason
it's people digging up stuff from his past to try and dump on him for things that have nothing to do with.
Yeah, but that's the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
like
never going to beat
people
that.
apparently dug up stuff that shows that he's a furry. It's like,
which I am
what?
not surprised about.
Not surprised, but
He
also
does own
so
a lot
what?
of ferrets.
Yes.
The ferret.
And you know what? He looks like he would be a furry.
Yeah.
And actually, you might have seen this. You probably haven't. There was a viral TikTok that went on before TikTok got banned and came back 12 hours later or whatever.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next episode.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen it. There's a TikTok called, why do people in open relationships or polyamorous relationships always look like that. As this guy
Yeah.
say, and straight away the first, I saw that video, and then you look at the comments, and everyone's like, "Oh, yep, I know exactly what you mean." Blah blah blah, and then it blew up because there's all these people, duetting it on TikTok, being like, "What do you mean like that?" And every person who says that looks like that.
Yeah, there's a vibe they give off, we'll call it. Like,
Yeah.
But it's like almost a physical vibe.
Yeah, it's an
Yes.
aura.
Yes. Yeah, it is an aura. It's like they're powering up in Dragon Ball Z. But
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny. It's like, bro, what?
Yeah. They do all look like that though.
Yeah, but like he gives me that same impression.
And then,
like,
yeah, all
I can see
furries
you
look
as a
bit-
furry.
All people who you think would be furries are probably furries.
Yeah.
They've got that
And
same
you know what?
energy.
I sort of feel like it is
No
being
hate to your friend who's a furry, but
Yeah,
I was more just going to say, like, both on furries, polyamorous, like all that sort of vibe stuff.
weird.
It's the people who are openly like that and don't shut up about it. They're the ones who, like
Sonic
before
fans.
they even open, before you even open, like before they even open their mouths, you can tell it straight off.
Yeah.
And then
Would
all
we?
they do is talk about it. The people who have it, like, who do that stuff behind closed doors.
If that's your
or-
whole personality, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
I remember there was a guy I worked with at one of my last jobs. He was in an open relationship, still a good mate.
Is this the one that I know?
Yes.
Yep.
There was quite a few situations at work where he was like, "Oh, by the way, I'm in an open relationship." The boss then sends a photo to our group chat of like a guy bowling, and it's obviously the ball says, "I'm in an open relationship," and then it's like the pin to like everyone we work with. It was the funniest thing ever because it was like, it's cool, do your own thing, but then every time in conversation there's a lull. It's like, by the way, do you know I'm in an open relationship?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
not an icebreaker, is it? It's the sort of thing like,
I gotta find this. It's a hilarious photo. But do what you want.
Is he going to be fine with you saying that, Oni?
He doesn't watch these episodes.
Okay, I was just going to say because his
Oh,
partner
no,
also gives me that look.
No, I give him shit about it all the time. It's
Yeah.
hilarious. No, I mean, do your own thing. Couldn't give a flying.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
care. Do your thing. I don't. Whatever.
I just thought that it just that reminded me of that goddamn photo, and it's so funny that the boss was the one to send it.
Send it. Yeah.
We're all adults.
no,
Yeah.
I know a few people who are either they're polyamorous or they're furry or they're...
Don't gesture like that to me and say furry.
Oh, so all
I'm
the times
offended.
that one of you two have dunked on me for stuff that is completely untrue.
True.
If you're
I
into
happened
feet,
to
it's
gesture
okay,
in
bro.
your direction, man, because I was talking to you.
I've had to put GYG socks on this week because Brock was just sniffing a bit too much last
Yeah, I
week.
put odd socks on because I was in a rush because Brock was staring at him.
But
Man's a freak.
but no, it's
I
like
am, but for very different reasons.
yeah, you do be freaky though.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that on there.
Oh, big titties.
That's a different podcast.
Yeah, God, yeah. But no, I mean, like, you can definitely say that. And you know what? This sort of, I was talking to Brock about this the other day. We were out at the shops. We had to go out and get some stuff for the podcast, and we went through the game section at a game store, and I said to him, half of the people that I feel like you see at game shops, things like that, they just have no social awareness. They are so completely out of it. They lisp. It sounds like it's
They got
almost
the
like
same
they
mannerisms,
didn't
they've-
fully evolve.
Yeah.
Yes.
They
Yes
spammed
and
B
no,
when they're
like-
midway through changing.
Depends on the game shop, honestly.
No, I don't think
board
it
game
does though.
shops and like collectible card game shops, stuff like. I mean, I'm not going to name any, but yes, the people in there who like that's kind of what their entire social circle revolves around. Yeah, I'm happy they're contained there, for lack of a
Yeah.
better word.
Yeah, but then they come out in public and you're like, you should have stayed at home.
This was video games, and like I saw a person here trying to talk to the person that worked at this shop, and they're like, do you
okay.
have
Yeah.
and it's like this person was easily in their 20s, and I'm not saying, hey, it could have been a
neurological
disability
thing.
or something like that. Yeah, 100%. But the thing is, I see it a lot, like a lot. And do you think because of gaming has become way more popularized and more accepted,
No.
that.
I think it's probably because people who are walking in looking for something, if it's someone who, like, I'm going to say something that's probably not going to sound great. I'm sorry if it doesn't. People who are not on the spectrum or who are neurotypical, they know what they're walking in looking for. They just walk in, look at the shelf. I don't see it. No. All right, they don't have it. And they walk out. Someone who might be on the spectrum or who might not, like, might have a neurological thing, they will walk in. They might go and look at the shelf, or they'll just walk up to the first staff member they see and they'll ask. And from there, either a conversation's going to happen or it's going to, sorry, we don't have it. Oh, do you have this other thing that's basically identical?
No, I agree with that. But the thing is, I'm saying that this is a lot more common now. Like, a lot more common. I'm saying this.
Well, games are a lot more mainstream, so.
Well, I was just saying that before, but I mean, I feel like there is a lot of, I'm going in somewhere, and it might even, because it's to the level where I don't feel like everyone I'm seeing who is like this has got some type of neurological disorder or anything like that. Do you think as gaming has become so, and this, you could relate this also to anime as well, because it's become so mainstream that people get so fixated on it, and that's their whole life, that they do not evolve social skills as much. So I feel like I see a lot of people, it's like, I know there's nothing wrong.
What are you
with it.
watching so I can avoid it? Because like they're
Jesus.
but like they all have the same mannerisms. It's like you're all watching the exact same thing. You're all acting the same. There's conventions for this sort of stuff. Cool, go nerd out there. Don't make it your whole personality in your social, in like your normal day-to-day life.
I think you're onto something there. I'm not sure how much I want to agree with it, but
You don't have to agree to it. It's still true.
Yeah.
but I mean, look, it's people who are passionate about that thing to the exclusion of all other stuff. We'd see it in a lot of other stuff if we worked in something else. Like if we worked at Sanity 10 years ago, I'm sure we would have had people coming in who completely nerded out over Lord of the Rings or whatever else.
No, but it was
popular 10 years
feel
ago.
like
That's cool though.
I feel like
Lord of the Rings is cool.
I feel like it was not to the same level. It's good. And
I
Ben's
think
right.
it would have been. We just didn't see it.
No, Ben's right. It's like there's so many of these people that sound identical and the exact same mannerisms and everything.
There's a reason the fedora hat guy became a meme. It's because everyone knew someone that looked like that, and it's all the same sort of cringy.
A lot of our mates will have the joke of would say like, "Oh, let's just say," and the thing is, you hear multiple people that do say that.
Other than you guys saying it ironically, I've yet to hear anyone that actually talks like that.
We point it out when we see it, and it's like at least once or twice a week, I reckon. Now,
easily.
Like
and
it's like, really common.
And it's not like if you see it in public, you're like, that's quite funny. But when it is a direct conversation with you, you're like, this is just, it's not even annoying. It's frustrating because it shouldn't be this way.
And a lot of the time I feel like it's like you'll be at the shops and you'll be like a game shop or something like that, and it'll be a group of probably 3 or 4 guys. And they'll be walking in and it'll be one of them who needs to over explain, like, I know everything about this one thing and you guys don't. And it's like, yeah, this is literally what I call GTA 5. It is made by Rockstar Game, and it is really cool.
Like that one guy who does those EB Games TikToks about, my brother literally said this is the best game in the world.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I will find. They're very funny.
Yeah.
They're very funny.
Now, as soon as you were saying, the lads that walk in, and yes,
They're not
do
lads.
know.
But no,
I see far more lads than I do whatever we're going to call this particular
Epic
person.
Gamers.
Epic Gamers, sure.
Not the word I would use.
No, I do know what you mean. Yes.
And it's not like I'm trying to be facetious and funny type of thing between them.
It's just
well, that as well. But like, it seems like this is legitimately how they are, and they're talking to their more nerdy mates who they've gone to school with. Good on them, get them out and having fun, looking at going to shops, whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's way more common occurrence. I don't remember seeing anyone at my school that was remotely like that.
No, because we had bullying.
Yes. The nerdy people
If nerdy kids back then, they're like, oh, you wear glasses, you're a nerd, cool. If you were a nerd like that today, you'd be fine. There'd be no pressure.
Yeah,
no,
no, like the
Bullying still occurs.
no, not to the same
No,
extent though.
it does. It's just a different sort.
It's not working.
It happened. It
Mm.
is. It's just on different things.
Yeah, but I mean, like back then, like if I went home and started talking like some of these gentlemen who come into all these places in public, my dad would beat me to a pulp, or at least tell me to pull my head in and just I'd change.
Yeah,
I-
my
I-
dad
I-
left, so.
Well, okay, you win.
It's
I
not a
guess.
competition, Brock. We get it.
Um,
But besides the point,
no,
like,
look,
peer pressure is a
when I
good
was-
thing.
it has its purposes. Yes,
Yes.
I'm not going to say it's a good thing because it
Not
can
a
be
bad
good
thing.
or bad. When I was like going to high school, I would quite often I'd be during lunchtime in one of the rooms playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and I was a full-on nerd.
Your move. Mm.
But yeah, we'd have like every now and then, probably about once a week, the popular kids would like walk in and like start being assholes. And the teacher, like they'd be sitting in the next room. One of them would come in and tell them to get out. It happens all the time. When I was working childcare, you'd see the similar behavior over very different things, but you'd see kids that are passionate about something, just enjoying their little hobby, and then other kids that had no part of it going over just to be disruptive.
Yeah, but there's a difference between being passionate and being obsessed, which I think is
I will
where,
agree with you on that.
which is where I
yes.
think that it differs, because it's like, oh, cool, you really like Sonic, for instance. You have a Sonic costume, but that was not what the point I was getting at there. You didn't make it your entire personality. That what freaking old mate? Well, I can't think of his last name now. Sonic Man.
Christian.
Yes.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
most
that-
definitely
he
does
definitely
have
has something wrong with him.
problems
Yes.
with him.
But you can really, really enjoy something and like something, and then like we all really like games. We have a gaming podcast. We didn't get to that point where it became a problem and things about our personality changed for the worse, just because
Yeah,
we
your
really
life's not negatively affected by any of the
Correct.
stuff that we're doing. Yeah.
there was a point where it stopped and you were like, okay, cool, I really like this, I
It's-
can do this, and it's not my entire world. I'm getting a cramp.
Well, you can keep it. No, look. In terms of stuff that's like now far more prevalent, I think the online age has a lot to answer for that. Stuff like Chris Chan. 20 years ago, Chris Chan wouldn't have been a thing. He would have existed, but he would have been in his own little
Well,
self-contained bubble.
Christian.
Let me finish.
Okay.
He would have been in his own little self-contained bubble. But then with the prevalence of like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and everything else, people being able to just put this stuff out there, I'm kind of agreeing with you that bullying should be like, it has a purpose in that it
Bring it
cuts this
back.
stuff down.
But like no one in my school was like overly obsessed with anything, that because there were bullies, and it's like you did everything you could to stay relatively normal so you didn't get singled out.
Yeah. Also, I was going to say, Chris
Yeah,
Chan was around 20 years ago.
I-
That was the peak of Chris Chan.
YouTube
Yeah, I
was
know
what,
he was. I was just saying it
2006?
as an example though.
6 or 5, yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah, but I mean, like, there's a lot more. It's a lot more accepting of hobbies now.
It is, but you all still have those people on the outskirts where it's too much. And
Oh,
they
100%.
get
And I
ridiculed
feel like
for it.
I feel like accepting of a lot of these hobbies and things like that is because of that. Like, it's perpetuating that as much. You didn't see it as much back then because you would have got bullied the shit out of it.
Oh yeah.
But now, because everything's so more accepting of like, oh, all these things like that, you
But it's
see all
also-
the extremes of it way more. And
But it's
more
also
prevalent.
because when you put that side of yourself out there, you don't have to actually have any of the negativity come back at you.
Yeah, which is fine, but I think you need some negativity, because like before it's like people like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon cards, that sort of thing. It didn't really, you kind of stuck in like one of 3 categories. Now it's, oh cool, everything's acceptable. There's a lot of stuff that shouldn't be as acceptable, and there is no limit on where that stops.
Yeah.
There needs to be a finite line. Like, enjoy anime, I don't care. Do not come dressed to school in your favorite character every day.
But that's the thing is like the other day I rocked up to the shops and I saw a kid walking around in a Sonic shirt, and I'm like, I would have never seen that when I was a kid, never. And then like people like kids walking around in anime shirts, I'm like,
The anime for sure.
that's crazy. That was never a
but I
thing
mean,
even 10 years ago.
I had Sonic shirts when I was a kid.
Yeah,
have
but you're
Sonic
Sonic
shirts now.
obsessed.
I'm not okay. It doesn't matter about the obsession. It matters
You're a
whether
Sonic fan.
the stuff existed back then for kids, and kids wore it. It then had a big gap where Sonic wasn't as prevalent. Gaming sort of had a
Rest
It
in
was
peace,
under-
Mario and Sonic at the Olympics.
yeah.
Great.
And
game.
now Sonic's having a revival because like the movies are doing so well. So it's everywhere at the moment. It'll do the same when
I was
like
just using
when the
that-
second Super Mario Brothers
I
movie
was
comes
using
out.
that as just a specific example.
I know. I
I'm just
know.
saying-
I'm being pedantic.
Yeah, I know. That it was not needed at all. Just ruined the whole vibe. Well, okay, Horseman. Horseman without the cock. Feet clopping around. Ooh, he's also a brony.
No.
Oh, we're gonna get onto that topic.
No,
soon.
Yo.
even as a joke, I am
You-
not having that
You,
assigned to me.
you're not. You are not a brony. You look like you could be a brony.
Brony with the pony.
Don't.
But no, man, you see kids walking around with fucking anime shirts and shit on these days. It's like, what?
I just remember
No, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like you
No.
would have never seen that before.
Do you think a little bit of it is like not jealousy, but a little bit of it's like envious that like you can't sort of do the same thing? It'd be just that carefree.
brother, I have so many video game shirts in my cupboard.
We
already.
all do. But,
Yeah, but like
but
back
I mean,
then,
the
there
more
was
niche stuff that is like on the sideline of that, like stuff that is the
I don't. I
the
mean,
big titty sort of
there
side.
might have been
of-
a. Oh no.
whatever's in your files. I don't want to know, bro.
I never had that
Because I've
that
seen
inkling ever to be like, I want to wear a hoge jumper
I
or
was
whatever,
about to say we've had someone who's walked
a
into work a
hagao
couple
or whatever
of,
it is.
I
whatever
can't remember how to pronounce
It's
it.
one of
yeah.
it.
A
one of
hago.
them is the like the
hago.
antenna hair on anime characters. I think that's a hoge. A hagao, I think, is like the
No,
cum face.
A hago is the mouth
Oh,
open.
you know that word.
He knew it.
I just said it like 4 times trying to get it right because he started it.
I thought you were talking about a completely different word.
No, but we've had someone who's come into work a couple of times wearing that jumper, and like
I
that's
see it all the time.
yeah.
I also just don't like. Back then, there wasn't. Obviously, there were a lot more things to be interested in. They didn't do merch for a lot of that stuff.
no.
I would have killed to have a Dragon Booster T-shirt when I was a kid. So it was
They're
Pokemon.
Never, they're
That
never
was-
going to do Dragon Booster.
Oh no, but that's the point. Now, if it would come out, you'd find one.
Yeah.
But,
But I mean, it's way more prevalent, and I think it's because it's way more accepting of hobbies and things like that.
but yes, I agree that it is more acceptable. There needs to be some things that are still not acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah, there needs to be a limit.
Bullying sucks. There's points where I got bullied at school, but I think it's a useful tool to an extent.
Yes, it's a very extreme form of peer pressure.
Yeah. It's just like there needs to be social norms, and people need to be
Someone needs to reinforce them.
yes to an extent.
Yeah.
Physical violence.
I mean, like
some light hazing, go for it. Yeah, I don't know.
simple things like wearing deodorant,
Yes.
which you won't see at like conventions and things like that.
No, I mean, it didn't smell horrible when we were there. It also didn't smell great.
We weren't at a massive one either.
Still, a big tin shed. It was hot.
True, but I mean, like, it's just there's plenty of things like that, and people unaware. Just like all those furries that were dancing.
Oh, except that one kid with the
No,
sword.
yeah,
he
he
ran
was
up there, going
hectic.
hard.
There was a guy there, and he had Down syndrome, and was ripping up the D floor, and we were all loving it. He was going off his head. He was having such a fun time.
We were outside for
And
like
all the
40
furries were
minutes.
coming near him,
Sword.
and he had a sword on his back, and he's like trying to fight him off. And I'm like, go, good on you, kid.
We were outside for like 40 minutes. He danced non-stop that entire time.
Whole time.
It was
Jesus, that's okay.
was
that's
so
that's
cool.
dedication.
Oh,
Oh well.
I think that's enough. I think.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be about it for this
I'm sure
episode.
we could keep going, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
we
leave it
could,
there.
but
Though.
we'll start arguing soon.
Yeah, exactly.
what
Well,
do you mean start? We already have.
okay, well, with that, Brock, what are you going to say?
We will save it there.
All right, see ya.
Bye.